Good morning and welcome to the public meeting of the New York City Campaign Finance Board for September 13, 2018. The first item of business is the approval of minutes from August 9, 2018. I'll move the approval of those minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
One abstention. The motion carries. The next item on the agenda is my report. So today is a very important day because voters are going to the polls for the state primary elections. I know our Voter Assistance Advisory Committee Chair, Naomi Zauderer, has a lot to say on that topic, so I will leave it to her. Last month, the CFB published its comprehensive report on the 2017 election cycle, which shows that small dollar contributors played a larger role in New York City's elections last year than ever before. Indeed, 73% of all contributors to mayoral candidates gave $175 or less. That's compared to just 48% in the hotly contested mayoral campaign in 2013. The report is full of statistics like this one that show how the city's public matching funds program continues to be a positive force in shaping the city's elections and strengthening New Yorkers' relationship to their government. The report also contains the board's full slate of legislative recommendations to improve the program for the next generation of candidates. On that topic, last week, the mayor's 2018 Charter Revision Commission approved 3 ballot questions for voters to decide on November 6th. As you know, the CFB and campaign finance were central to the commission's work. We enjoyed a very collegial working relationship with the commission throughout the process, and the final ballot questions reflect the key principles behind the recommendations that the board presented to the commission in June. One final note, the board will publish a voter guide for the ballot questions. We ask all New Yorkers to express their views, pro or con, on each of the questions to be published in the online voter guide. We are accepting statements from the public now on the CFB's website. I urge everyone listening to make their views known and help us educate city voters about these important issues. With that, I will turn to our Voter Assistance Advisory Committee Chair, Naomi Zauderer, for her report.
Thank you, Chair Schaefer. So as all of you know, today is Election Day. I've already seen several I voted stickers, so kudos to all of you who visited your poll site this morning. Voters have until 9 p.m. this evening to cast a ballot. If you need to do some last-minute research, you should go read the New York City Votes Voters Guide at voting.nyc. This is the first time that our guide includes statements from candidates for state offices. It includes the Know Your Vote feature with news articles from the legislative races across the city. This means there is no longer any room for excuses that people don't know enough about candidates to cast an informed vote. Our voter guide provides a wealth of information about the candidates. So read it, get to the polls today, and vote. New Yorkers should also know that they can take time off from work to go to vote. New York law requires all employers to give their employees 2 hours of paid leave to vote. Visit promotethevote.nyc to learn more about getting time off to vote. The NYC Votes team and our volunteers have been working busily over the past few weeks to drive up primary turnout. We held phone banking events over the weekend and the past few days. Our volunteers have been calling voters throughout the city to remind them about the election and answer any questions they may have. We have one final push to the polls this evening from 4 to 8 o'clock when volunteers will be calling additional voters to let them know that there's still time to cast their ballot. Looking ahead, we're in the final stages of preparing for National Voter Registration Day. We've partnered with dozens of organizations, including Patagonia, New York Public Library, and Brooklyn College, to hold voter registration drives all throughout the city on September 25th. If your organization would like to join us as an NVRD partner, please visit our website, www.nyccfb.info. With that, I will turn to our Executive Director, Amy Loprest, for her report.
I just have a brief report today. I want to highlight the fact that our online voter guide for this primary, for the first time, includes a lot of information about the candidates, including statements from the candidates. And so I want to thank Chase Gilbert from our public relations unit, who was responsible for seeking out those statements, and our entire public relations unit for including such great information in that online voter guide that you can find at voting.nyc. I also want to thank the staff that worked on the post-election report. It is a massive undertaking after every election, and if you look at the inside of the report, you'll see that a large number of staff worked on that report, both in writing, data, design, layout, but in particular, I want to thank Gina Chung, who was the project lead on that report.
All right, well, we have one campaign to deliberate and vote on with regard to penalties and repayments, that of candidate Carlos Sierra for the City Council in 2013. I'd like to announce at this time that I will recuse myself from deliberations and voting on this matter, and the rest of the board will now go into deliberations. We'll be back shortly. Thank you. Okay, we're back. The board has deliberated without me, and Board Member Richard Davis will propose a motion.
So as to Carlos Sierra, a violation of accepting contributions from a corporation, limited liability or partnership, recommended penalty $500. Failing to demonstrate that spending was in furtherance of the campaign, penalty $10,000. Total penalties $10,500. Public funds repayment $32,492. Do I have a motion to approve those penalties and that repayment?
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Done.
One abstention.
And your abstention. Well, I'm not sure you even abstained, you were accused.
Yeah, I'll be guided by your ruling. I now move to go into, sorry. Do we have a sheet for that here? Okay. Our executive director will announce, as you may recall, we are on a rolling basis announcing campaigns that have been found to be in complete compliance. And our executive director will announce, I think we have one further campaign to announce.
I got it, okay. We're announced that the following candidates from the 2017 election has completed the post-election audit process without any violations and penalties assessed by the Campaign Finance Board. The board recognizes the diligence of the candidate and their campaign staff in running a campaign that maintained compliance with New York City's campaign finance law. The candidate is Eric L. Adams, candidate for Brooklyn Borough President in 2017.
Thank you. With that, I'll move that we go into executive session and then then adjourn, as we have no matters that we need to bring back to the full board for a vote. So with that, I make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? We're going into executive session and then we're adjourning.